What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today I've got a really quick and easy yet delicious dessert recipe because I just finished up 4 12s in a row. I'm exhausted, I'm feeling lazy, but it was a rough few days of work and I want something sweet and I don't want to work too hard for it. So we've got another dump cake recipe today. It is by far the most popular kind of recipe that I've done on my channel, so I figure I'll keep giving you guys some ideas. So today is going to be a cherry cheese Danish dump cake. And 5 ingredients, technically 4 if you want to be even easier, and about 5 minutes of work, 45 minutes in the oven, give or take, and we've got a fantastic dessert. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So technically, at the minimum, you can make this with 4 ingredients. And there may be an optional 5th ingredient depending on what the consistency of our cream cheese looks like once I get it out of the package. But what you're going to need is cherry pie filling. I'm using Duncan Hines as usual. They're usually at most grocery stores. They're cheap, they're easy, taste good. Then you can use any boxed cake mix you can find that you like. I'm going with yellow cake mix today. You could use kind of whatever floats your boat. You could go with like a red velvet and make it like a super red dump cake. Totally up to you. I'm going with yellow just because it makes the most sense to me. Then we're going to use 1 whole 8-ounce brick of cream cheese. Now, the last time I did a like cheese Danish dump cake thing, it was a lemon custard one. And someone in the comments, I forget who said it, said you could use and 1 egg, beat it with the cream cheese before putting it on top, and that would make it kind of spread more evenly. So depending on what this looks like when I get it out of the package, because I actually softened it this time, if the consistency is not smooth enough, I will mix it with an egg just to kind of get it a little bit more liquidy for the dessert. And then last but not least, 1 stick of butter. Gonna melt this down, mix it with the cake mix, easy peasy. So without further ado, ingredients are out of the way. Let's start making this thing. So first thing we're gonna need to do is get a 9x9 baking dish. You could totally double this recipe and throw it in a 9x13, but I'm making this for myself. I don't need a 9x13 of this. After you grab all of your ingredients and your baking dish, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and let that heat up as we're prepping everything. So first thing we need to do, get the pie filling in the bottom of the pan. I'm opening a can, so I'm expecting my dog Jackson to come running any second because he thinks it's a treat for him. I see him looking at me. It's not for you, kiddo. I'll give you a treat afterwards. Okay, beautiful. So then we're gonna plop all of that right on into the bottom here. It came out pretty well. Okay. Now that that's out, just kind of smooth it over. Try to get it as evenly layered in the bottom as you can. Give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Now, grab yourself a bowl. Take your stick of butter. And you're gonna pop it right on into the bowl. Yep, here he comes. He thinks this is for him. All right, so butter, bowl, in the microwave, just till it's melted. I'm gonna go with probably about 45 seconds for mine. Okay, now we need to talk cream cheese. I'm gonna grab a small bowl. And it is very soft. I don't know that I'm gonna need the egg. Last time I made a cream cheese dump cake, I didn't soften the cream cheese first, and it was very, very difficult to spread. But this feels better. Yeah, I'm not gonna grab an egg with this. I don't think it's necessary. So basically what you're gonna wanna do here is, oh, that's not really helping, is it? Kind of just take little pieces off, kind of spread it around throughout the top of it, and I'll get a top-down view so you can kind of see what mine looks like. Now, the complaint the last time was that there was some spots with a ton of cream cheese and a bunch of spots with no cream cheese because it wasn't like smooth. And I was worried that the lemon dump cake the last time was going to be kind of gross because you were going to get some bites with a ton of cream cheese and it was going to be just too much, but then other bites without any. And then, you know, we made it, I tried it, I'll tell you what, it was damn good regardless. It really didn't make a difference to the final taste. And I would make it again in a heartbeat. I don't think you absolutely need to. I will say though, I don't know that I'm going to use this entire block of cream cheese for mine. And reason being, this is a lactose intolerant household. I frequently cook with dairy and then suffer for it. So being that I just had a pretty rough few days of work, I don't really want to suffer at home too. So I think I'm going to stop here. There's a little bit of cream cheese left, but that's okay. You're welcome to put all of it on if you would like. I'm going to stop. Quick, I'm going to show you what my top-down view of this looks like. So not perfectly spread out by any means, and that's completely okay. So we're going to move our cherry filling to the side for a second. Now, grab yourself a fairly decent sized bowl. Speaking of which, I'm going to leave a link in the description for the baking dish and the bowl set that I have. I got both of them on Amazon. They're both Pyrex and they're phenomenal. But anyway, we're going to take our cake mix out. We're going to do the whole box. No holding back here. As far as I'm concerned, after the last couple of nights of work that I had, calories aren't even a thing right now. I don't care how many calories are in this. All I care about is if it tastes good. All right, so shimmy that around. Pour in your melted butter. And now, every time I've made one of these recently, I can't seem to get the butter ratio right. Last time I put 2 sticks in and it was way too much. The time before that, I only did 1 stick and it didn't feel like enough. So we're gonna kind of take a look here. The ideal consistency we're aiming for is like wet sand. And this already kind of feels closer to what it's supposed to be, but it does look a little dry to me. Yeah, this looks a little too dry. I'm gonna actually just, instead of more butter, I'm gonna put a little bit of water in, like a couple tablespoons at a time, instead of more butter, just because it kind of got like just greasy the last time I made one, because I just kept adding butter until the texture looked right, and it was still good, I just don't want it to be like that again. So this is getting closer. Gonna still need a little bit of water in the bottom there, I think, just to get the last bit of powdered cake mix out there. But this might be okay. It's getting pretty close. And if there is a little bit of powdered cake mix in there, that's not the end of the world either, because you remember there is butter in here. It is going to kind of melt and combine everything. So this feels pretty good. That's kind of what it looks like. I'm going to bring our cherry filling back over here and basically just kind of crumble this together on top, which might be a little easier said than done. This is perfect consistency right here. This is kind of exactly what you're looking for. Like, you should squeeze it and have it hold together like that. The last time I just kept adding butter because I didn't like how it felt. And then it got to the point where it was too liquidy. And at that point, there's no going back. So you kind of just have to eat it at that point. But it was like really, really greasy because I just kept adding butter. So if you're like me and you add the initial 1 stick of butter and it doesn't feel like enough, just add a little bit of water and I think that should do just fine. Okay, this is looking really good. It smells delicious already. Okay, and now you can see there's a little bit of like powder in the bottom there, a tiny little bit of cake mix that it's not quite combined. I'm just gonna toss that because this is well covered. And in case you didn't hear that, the oven preheat timer just beeped. So let me give you one last top-down look at what this looks like. So notice I didn't like press it in or anything like that, just kind of crumbled it on top. So we're gonna go in with this to the oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius for about 40 to 45 minutes, give or take. And I will let you know exactly how long my cook time was at the end of this, but that's all she wrote for now. I'll see you back here when we're done. Okay guys, well, I went with 40 minutes because it smelled great. Top was nice and crispy and brown and perfect looking. And I think it's ready. However, technically, I'm supposed to let it cool. I don't want to let it cool because I'm hungry and I'm impatient. And even if I do let it cool, this is not the type of dessert that's ever going to look pretty. So taking a good picture of it for YouTube's sake doesn't really matter because it's going to just look like a big blob of deliciousness on a plate regardless of what I do. So let's grab a spoon, let's get it on a plate and let's get some ice cream with it. So I would say 9 by 9 probably makes about 9 servings. So I'm going to give myself about that much. I left about half of it in the tray because of all the gooey filling. It smells unbelievable. You would not believe me. Like, however I can describe it like this is not enough. All right, let's get a spoon over there. Obviously, we have to have some ice cream when it comes to something like this. So, find my trusty ice cream scooper. Let's get our ice cream ready. And put a big old scoop of that on there. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Golly, that's perfect. Okay. Now, the most important part, we got to do our taste test. So, I'm going to move the big one to the side. This does need to cool before it goes in the fridge, but this one, even though, I don't know if you can see it, it is nice and steamy coming off of there. So, this is probably going to hurt my mouth and I'm going to make a lot of scary noises for a minute. So, I apologize in advance. Oh my God, that's good. That is so good. I like this way better. I'm not gonna say way better, but I like this better than the lemon one. This is amazing. You can't beat that. For 5 minutes of work, put in the oven for 40 minutes. You can't beat that. That is so much, it's so good for such low effort that that's why I make so many of these dump cakes. It just makes sense. That's pretty much all I got for today, guys. This is amazing. I'm gonna go dig into this over there, but thank you for joining me. If you have any requests or any type of dessert or entree or anything like that that you would like to see me make, drop a comment, let me know. I'd be happy to take requests. I'm kind of running out of ideas this month. I've just been working a lot. So if I could get some inspiration from you guys, that would help a lot. So if there's something you can think of, let me know. And that's pretty much all I got. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.